Hi, we're here with Joni Fedders, president of Aileron, and we're going to touch base with some news of the day. On September 28th, the New York Times had an article in the business section called the Anywhere, Anytime Office. And it talks about how since laptops and connectivity costs have really gone way down in recent years, it's enabled the workforce to be more flexible. And there's certainly cost saving in that, but there's also the benefit of allowing employees to work from home and to work from different workspaces. Joni, but my question to you was, there was a quote in there that a business owner asked, can you maximize people's performance utilizing the least amount of real estate? Well, if you cut back too far, you're going to impact performance. You've got to find that sweet spot. And I was wondering if you had any feedback in the context of professional management. How can a company increase the workforce's flexibility, but still find that sweet spot, still not impact performance?
Yeah, and I think you absolutely can. And I think what we're seeing is we just went through our strategic planning process and tried to look at the environment and what's going to affect business owners in the next 3 years. And one of the biggest market analysis pieces, I guess, that came out of that, or one of the biggest trends is that everyone has to change the way they're doing business, whether it's because we're now all have access globally to work. We've got social trends that are going on that are changing. We have all sorts of different types of workers in the workplace. And that requires a lot of flexibility, including the space that you're working out of. And I think by paying attention to where you really want to go and what you want to be in 10 years as an organization, and then understanding the culture that it's going to take to define that, really helps companies then hone in on this. The days of everything applies to everybody, or this is the way it always works in our space, might not work anymore, but that's kind of a good thing if you can, flex and bend a little bit and see that there's people that have different needs in your work environment that you don't have to give a big corner office to everybody, can help you save space.
What could be a first step business could take if they're locked into a sea of cubicles right now and they like this idea? Does that start from the top? Where does that change start?
Well, I think a lot of it is structure follows strategy. So the first thing is really, as a management team, a leadership team, a business owner, or a leader of any organization, is to sit down and really help define and clarify the future direction and where do we want to be. And that can help with everybody. Everybody can have input into that, or the leader can define that, whatever it is. When you know what your identity is, what you want to stand for, where you want to be, it helps sort out the culture and the personality of the company that has to come with that. So you can start by setting the direction and then ask people. I mean, it's really interesting. A lot of people have great sites, and you don't have to respond to every individual request. But if you can start to understand, the general tendencies of your organization and where they really thrive, I mean, that's where you're going to get the good information. It is amazing. You're the leader. You set the culture. Every small action you do affects somebody, or it sends a message. And so you do have to be careful even with the small things, taking down, we can't have any more notices on the bulletin board, or everybody has to have a green chair instead of being able to pick out your color. I mean, every action like that is observed and watched and sends a message. And so it's good to try to get feedback and ask questions of what people's preferences are, because you might over-design things and spend money where you don't have to, where things aren't important. So it is kind of starting to get a temperature and pay attention to, what are people's preferences in the marketplace, and then use that with the understanding that you're trying to deal with the market conditions changing, and people have to understand that's reality too. And they might have great ideas on how you can respond to that.
Has Aileron made any steps towards making their workforce more flexible? And have you had any success personally?
Well, personally, I'm a big proponent of working wherever, anytime you can. So I can be found with my laptop at the picnic table out at the park during soccer practice, and believe in the cell phone, definitely anywhere, anytime. And really what we've done here as a group is people have agreed that we don't need big offices here. We have a beautiful campus. Our group's preference, I think, is to have a home base office. but we all share offices. So just about everybody here has an office with someone else. So it's smaller in size. They're kind of tight and compact, but we understand that it's really it's a place to touch down, keep your stuff, and get oriented. But then a lot of people then go out and use the campus space throughout the day. So that's kind of how our group has started to identify with this.
Great. Well, thanks for your feedback today, Joni, and you have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Eric. Bye.